little more in-depth overview on how the 30 caliber 180 grain trophy bonded tips performed, shot out of a 300 Win Mag and a reduced load, simulating long range. Go check out submoashooting.com. It's little sample packs. Might save yourself some money in load development. Great little company. Go check them out. I do want to talk a little bit more about what I'm noticing with these bullets as I'm testing them, that you can see here fairly well with these low velocity loads. Between that plastic tip and where that starts peeling back and the bonding starts, there's a nice little void in there that causes that them copper petals to start peeling back a lot earlier, creating good permanent wound cavities at lower velocity. And I really think that's where their success is, at that lower velocity. And then when you get down to the base of these bullets, I wish I had a way to cross cut these. I don't. Heavy cup down here in copper, so they retain their weight incredibly well. The slow velocity one, this is not the one I actually shot this round with. It came out the side of the gel block, lost it. I had some old, really dark gel blocks. I just shot another low velocity load into it to try to catch the bullet, and I did. But it just kind of shows how and why those bullets perform so well at low velocity. And then, and you also have, you can see it here, little start marks. So I've been impressed. I have not gone down to see how low I can go and still get these ones to open, but down under 1600 feet per second, I have had 0 failures yet. And then, yeah, that low velocity one impacted the gel. I think it was like 1533 or something like that, right in there. The high velocity one, 3,150 some feet per second. So just shy of 3,200 feet per second. And that's the mushroom you still have. I've tested a lot of bullets, and I have not seen such gorgeous mushrooms as what Federal's line of bullets gives me. Just amazing. I did test some of their Ascents in the 6.5 .264 diameter the other day, and I was a little dissatisfied because you can't move them this slow. I don't know if that's a caliber thing, but in this 30 caliber, it seemed to work great at low velocity, and at high velocity they hold together great. Let me actually go grab the weight retentions on these quick. .148.9 on the high velocity and 179.3 on that low velocity load. So with both, overall great weight retention. That low velocity round, come over here a little more to highlight that better. Hopefully you guys can see this well. It doesn't look on the camera to me that great, but with the naked eye I can see it real well. But you have that kind of starting its thing a little bit going through the board, but it doesn't really start to open up and do good permanent wound damage until about the 6-inch mark. Then that carries to just past the 13-inch mark, but you still carry decent permanent wound cavity until it exits the gel at 20 inches. The low velocity one I shot into my other dark blocks was just over 25 inches of total penetration. And then that large portion of that permanent wound cavity is running 3 5/8 there. So overall, for low velocity, good permanent wound cavity in there. I'm very happy with that. This high velocity isn't showing up so well in the gel here, but that's because it's more centered in the block. but you do have, it doesn't quite tear on all four sides. So you're running just shy of a 5-inch permanent wound cavity that's starting almost instantaneously going through that board. So by the time you calculate the board in there, 5/8 of an inch, it's opening, it explodes. You got that massive hemorrhaging carrying past the 12-inch mark. Starts to pin line, still carrying some permanent wound cavity to just shy of the 19-inch mark, where it looks like it kind of pin lines the rest of the way. And if you watch my other video, it wasn't even a 1/2 inch into my third block. So for almost a true 32 inches of total penetration on a high velocity load. And that just baffles me with how many other bullets I've tested, bonded, partitioned, and yet these bonded bullets give great permanent wound cavity and far superior penetration than pretty much anything I've tested. That larger portion of that permanent wound cavity, we're a good 13 inches. You know, that's just pretty impressive to hit the gel and not over grenade like so many do. When you're hitting close to 3,200 feet per second, still get great penetration. I mean, that's going to go in and out on an elk with an exit hole. The lungs clap faster. You're going to have better knockdowns than not having a exit hole if the placement's right. Still dumping that kind of energy. If you're just poking holes through something, that don't work. But overall, I'm very impressed with these. I am going to, because these blocks are so dark, I'm going to cut them apart here so we can look at some more detail in them. Let's come about the middle of that good permanent wound cavity there. You can just see how good of a job that did. Coming down to where it starts tapering off, you still got pretty darn good permanent wound cavity. We will see how well that carries into this next block on that low velocity load. Whack that about right in the middle of that good portion. And you have multi-directional tearing, which is an indicator that bullet was opening going through there. And there's that pin line coming the other direction from that other one. But overall, I cannot complain with the performance of that bullet. I mean, it just, this here, if I block it out, that's from the high velocity load coming the other direction. But definitely been thoroughly impressed with these bullets. Hope you guys enjoy this video.